Hi, my name is Jeff Pamerlo, and I'm going to give you a quick walkthrough of DeepAgent Studio. So at this point, I assume you've already gone to the repository and installed it following the quick start guide. From there, once you configure an account, you can sign in. So once you've signed in, you have the ability to mess with a number of parameters. The first thing you're probably going to want to do is go over to settings and set up your LLM provider. So for simplicity, we'll use an OpenAI provider. Give it a key. Now you've added that provider. We can actually go and configure some of our agents. So a couple things is we have agent types, and this I actually made a copy before the demo. So we have agent types. We have built-ins for conversational, plan, and execute, and react. You can define additional agent types. You can do that either directly here. You can use like a quick guide wizard that chooses an execution strategy, or you can go and actually write like custom code, which I'll probably have more documentation on this here. Or obviously, you can go and actually update the code and then rebuild the container and copy that all in. These are all things that work. But for now, the default agent types are pretty good. React is what I'm using for most things right now. So in the agents tab, then there's one built-in. And again, built-ins can't be deleted for like safety purposes. So the first thing I do is I normally clone this power agent. I'll edit it. So in here, I'll edit it. We'll go to configuration, choose like 4.0 mini. Going to tools and prompts, you can see it already has access to a lot of tools, already has a prompt that's kind of giving it context on all the tools and what it can do and just a general purpose. So you can edit all these things. Let me just save this. And then within the wizard here, you can kind of ask a question like, what's the ski forecast for, I don't know, Keystone this weekend? When you do that, this is all kind of like a quick play area. While we're doing this, you can see we're actually seeing session details where steps are being populated as we go. All these things are streaming by default. So if we go to trace, we can kind of see the trace results, see tool calls, see everything that's happening, and then the final results. If you're more familiar with like OTel type telemetry or like Langfuse, Langsmith, we can go in here and see spans and kind of like see details about all the things that are happening, estimated cost, etc. So yeah, so once we're happy that we can save it, the act of doing that now, if we go to the dashboard, we kind of see that we have some sessions that were executed. If you open a session, you get this little pop-up where, again, you can see the simple trace, or if you click advanced trace, it will now go to a full page view of kind of what I showed earlier, showing tool calls, inputs and outputs, etc. If we go back to the sessions for this and click view, there's an option here to delete the session if you want, to resume it in the dashboard, or you can go here to resume it, in the playground. When you resume it, that continues the session. So again, session conversational history will be there. You can restore it, do all that stuff. If you want to have a new session with this agent, you can just click new session, or again, if you just go straight to the playground, you can choose any of your agents and just start a new session with them there. That covers sessions. I think the next thing that I'll probably dive into a little bit are evaluations, because tools and prompts and a lot of other things are pretty self-explanatory. Okay, so if we go to evaluations, key thing to know is we have evaluations, evaluators, and data sets. Product ships with a number of built-in evaluators, things around the actual output, more deterministic graders, non-deterministic graders like LLM judges, and then like metadata analysis. And you can see here they kind of tag that way for things like latencies or efficiencies or error rates, cost, all those things. You can always create new evaluators. If you want to see what evaluators look like, you can kind of play around with any of these. You can add to the backend, etc. Key thing then is to create a data set. So you just create a data set, have to give it a name. So it's like math set one. And give it a description, whether it's going to be text or structured. I'm going to do text for now. I'll click create. Once you create, you get examples. The act of adding an example will save instantly, or you can import previous ones. So I will import from a previous export just to save time. When we do that, we see a nice question answer pair set here. I can close that now. Now that we have a data set, we can create an evaluation. We'll call it like math eval 01. You choose a data set you want to use, and then what the graders are that will be consistent across evaluation runs. So let's use contains expected and an LLM judge for correctness. Now that we have a data set, we created it, we hopped in here, you see some things, some configs. We can create a run, and we can just call this like run one. Again, names are optional. Give it the agent you want to test, the provider to use. We're choosing a provider here specifically for the judges that are going to be used. Right now, all the LLM judges, we use the same provider. So we'll create and view this. This then brought us into the run where nothing's happened yet. We have a test matrix here that is unpopulated, and kind of we can start it wherever we want to be. Let's do it in the test matrix maybe. When we click start, we'll get a progress bar, and we'll see this matrix kind of start to populate with traces being populated from streaming results as everything runs. We'll see our results. We'll see how everything goes. You can click any of these view sessions to view the specific session for that trace. If we go back to the overview page, we can kind of see, what was our pass fail rate on each of those graders. Again, this was very simple math for an agent. It probably didn't even have to call tools in a lot of cases. But the thing we can do then is come back to this eval run area. And what we can do now is, if let's say this is a toy instance, but let's say that we made a new version of our agent, and maybe one way we could do that would be to clone the agent and make some changes. So maybe we want to do like run 2, and you can name it whatever you want, and we could run it on the same agent that's already been updated, or a new instance of the agent that we've cloned. Copy it, set the provider, create and view, run again. Nothing here is too exciting or different. Like, it's going to be pretty much exactly the same because this is very trivial. But if we go back to the eval, we can kind of see performance over time. So this will allow us to see in the metadata what was the agent that was run. So if you wanted to clone agents, we could do that. We might have agent versioning in the future. Don't have that right now. But that's the big thing on evals, is it's built in. It'll work by default. Don't think there's too much more to talk about right now. But yeah, that's the tool overall. Give it a try. This is really just something I'm going to use, but figured I could share it with other people in case anyone found it interesting. Thanks. Have a great day.